All right, yo, it's your boy Yoshi Kid Neo, and we are back in the world of Boridil, the Ruination of Boridil. Just making sure. Yep, looks like we're good to go. Beautiful. But yeah, so today the party should be going to get to their Glavenous fight. That's the contract that they took from the Hunters Association, and it's going to be pretty wicked. It's definitely meant to be a boss fight, so I've designed it to be as such. And the fun part is also going to be that it's essentially going to run away and lure them into a spot of heavy disadvantage at some point. So it should be really good. But enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
If I could go ahead and cast Hex. Hex.
You got a Hex totem down?
Yeah, I got a Hex totem. Yeah, that's exactly.
So, do you want Kirsten and I to stay together or stick apart far away?
I think far would be better, just in case.
Separate ourselves from each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mind us, Brady. We're just having regular conversation talking about.
Oh yeah. Yep. Nothing to see here. You didn't see anything. Anyway, who wants to do recap so I can finish my dinner?
We didn't really do much. We bought some shit, and then
We hired a
we met a robot guy, and then we met another guy. He's like, "Hey, I'm like all of your money every single day, and I'll be a better guide." And we're like, "Cool." Can't do much about that. We already hired this loser guy that can't even talk.
I like Rusty.
Rusty, that's his name. Rusty is probably pretty rusty at his job, but he's
Very
not going to help
incorrect.
us.
Her. Hey,
Oh yeah, it is. This
Dusty.
entity, is that what we should call?
Oh, Dusty, not Rusty. Okay, Dusty.
Dusty has this hammer, and it written down on a piece of paper is like, "Yo, I'm not gonna help you kill it, but if I need to, I'll try and survive or something." And then we did some more role play, and then it's today.
Okie dokie. Well, that was not
Isn't
a lot
that-
of time for me to eat my dinner, but that's okay.
Oh, I got a hat. Kevin got a sword.
Well,
not yet.
some of those items are still being made.
Oh yeah. Wrench has the Scottish accent, and he was like, "Hey, I can do this for you. That's 500 platinum or gold."
We've also picked up a goat that we shall use as a sacrifice to lower the creature.
Me.
Also, Brady, I got a couple questions for you. The creatures we are fighting, would you be able to tell me if they're classified as beasts or what exactly would they be?
That would be for you to find out.
Okay.
How?
By casting a spell and watching it succeed or fail.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm like, do we get to see
Oh
their
my
stat
God.
block when we kill them or something?
Nope.
He wants to use polymorph, is what he wants to do.
All right. So what happened was,
Oh, jeez.
Thorpe and Trina found a hot spring, and after that, they contemplated on what to do after this battle, prepping themselves mentally for the battle. Meanwhile, everybody else was also mentally prepping themselves for the battle. Who knows what's going to happen next for this party, especially with Dusty being their guide. They must keep their eyes on them at all times if they hope to survive or not get lost. Hopefully they can get to their destination perfectly fine with no scratches or bruises. We need them in tip-top shape for said battle. That was the recap. Enjoy yourselves.
That was beautiful.
Our genius asses are like, I know, let's hire this guy that literally sneaks all the time because he doesn't make noise. He'll be our guide. That can't cause any issues. He won't be able to alert us.
It's okay.
You know, that voice with the music really reminds me of Ruby Rowe from Fifth Element.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I was and that's what I plan on doing when I eventually make a bard.
Oh,
Just-
good.
I can
Yay,
dig
Chris
it.
Tucker.
Come on, Dallas. That would actually, I would love.
And
a character like that.
I would go up to an NPC, and that would be a cue for Brady to turn on his echo as well. Like, so, what do you think of this fine day? It's cool.
And then they just chill, and you're like, "All right, good talk, thanks." Okay, so yeah, that is the recap. We will begin our session.
It's what happens when we don't do very much.
Yeah, especially when it's literally just pretty much talking, which is perfectly fine.
Gotta pat it.
Yeah.
We had the shop, okay?
Yeah, you gotta shop always. Let's see. Why don't I have Dusty over here?
That's a direct quote from Ingrid.
You're not wrong, unfortunately. I'm just joking. She doesn't really spend that much anymore. Plus, it's mostly to get the house decorated. Once she gets it decorated, I'm sure she'll stop, maybe.
Nope, she's gonna keep replacing the decoration.
Oh, you with your hope.
Not wrong about that. Alright. So, I believe the last, where we left off was you guys, we time skipped to Jimothy going to get his hat, which we'll just casually roleplay over. Wrench hands you the hat, and it is a bowler hat, but it's obviously made out of the material of the basil geese, and it's got more of a sort of leathery, think of like almost a crocodile skin hat, except for not unfashionable. But one of the sides has a lot of those scales, the exploding scales, sort of in a decline. So they start small in the middle of the cap, and as they start to wrap around towards the back part of your ear, they get a little bit larger and larger and larger. And there are exactly 10 of them.
Sick.
So he hands that to you, which you most likely would attune to, I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Wrench tells, all right, be on your way, I guess, and good luck on your hunt.
Thanks. Can't wait to explode some guys with this thing. Hey, high five.
And he takes his fleshy hand and gives you a high five.
I use my reaction to activate the... Oh. Just kidding. Sweet. I say thank you, Wrench. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
We hope to see you very soon with more materials. Don't fail me.
I didn't catch the last thing it said.
Don't fail
Oh. Okay. I kind of like back out the door. Don't fail you. Kind of say thanks and bye, and I leave the shop.
Okay. So as you leave the shop, the rest of your group begins to gather. And is there anything else you guys need to do before you head out on your journey?
Yes. Couple of things. Upon learning that I could have swapped my cantrips, could I have say I did so last long rest ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I want to switch out friends for Mold Earth, if possible.
Okay. Yep.
Why? You use friends all the time.
Oh yeah, you know.
I'll do it for you.
Okay,
It's faster
thank you.
for me.
And then what's my second question?
There you go.
May I cast a few things before we leave?
Sure.
So is everybody here? Even Dusty?
You guys start to head towards the exit of the encampment, and Dusty is sitting on a bench at the entrance looking out into the forest.
Okay. I want to cast. Well, before I cast anything, right? Have I noticed any of the Empire around before I start casting magic again?
No, you have not.
And
No one. You haven't seen anyone that's not really a dwarf, besides the few humans that you've met, to include Saxon, Whitlock, those two barbarians, and Dusty, but Dusty's a warforged. Other than that, everybody you've seen is a dwarf.
Okay. I want to go into the bag of holding and grab some rope, and then cut off a section like 10 feet or so. And then we still have the goat, correct?
Correct.
I want to attach the rope around the goat's neck. Does the goat already have a collar or no?
Yeah, it would come with a collar, I guess.
Okay. I will attach said rope to said collar, and then I'm going to cast Phantom Steed. I'm going to cast Phantom Steed.
Okay.
And then once Phantom Steed is materialized, I'm going to just, hold on to the rope and sit on the goat. Sit on the steed. And then can I attach the rope to the steed, or do I just hold it?
Yeah, I don't mind you being able to attach it.
Okay. And then while I'm on the steed, I want to cast telepathic bond with everybody, excluding the goat. Yeah, including Dusty. And then
I don't know if you
this
can
as
even
we're
cast it
walking.
on the goat.
That's for the goat. It's part of our party now.
I don't want to tell the goat what we're going to be doing to it. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
goat's
I had.
intelligence is too low anyway, so he wouldn't
Okay.
be able to. So you have the telepathic bond, which is good for an hour. You have your phantom steed, which is good for an hour. And you have the goat, currently latched onto your phantom steed.
Okay. And then once we start walking, I want to bring out Frederick and then tell him to fly, 10 feet above us, but to keep his eye on Dusty and do not let him out of his sight. And if he sees Dusty disappear, I want him to tell me and tell me where he's going.
Okay.
And then
And I assume you say that to Frederick through your
Yes.
telepathic bond.
just the one between me and him specifically. Yes. And then, can we speak with Dusty?
Yeah.
Okay. I say hello, Dusty. Can you hear me?
And Dusty pulls out a pad of paper and starts to scribble, and he shows you.
Why,
Yes, I
okay,
can
so
hear
wait,
you.
in your mind?
He scribbles again. Yes.
Okay, can you speak to me in your mind? Or do you just not want to speak?
He looks at you for a second as if he's thinking. And then he writes down and shows, I'm a little embarrassed.
It's okay. Just, I'll be casting this every once in a while, so just in case we need to, if it's up, you know, in an emergency, that's what it's for, you know?
I'd say to him, what do you have to be embarrassed about? We're all friends here.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear you.
It's strange.
Oh,
My
good.
voice box has malfunctioned for years, and I've never bothered to get it replaced. So now, well, I guess this is a little easier.
Yeah. This only lasts for about an hour, though, so I have to keep casting it, but yeah, it'll be up there if you need it.
It takes you the whole 10 minutes of sitting there.
Yeah.
And are you going to do that with that horse as well?
Yep, yeah, but I'll be on the horse, and the horse will move for me, so I can just keep doing it every once in a while.
Okay then. Well, hopefully nothing happens.
Yeah.
What's the limitations of this spell?
Let me try to remember. It's, the distance is around 30 feet from casting. It lasts about an hour. Did we say
It's
that it has...
for, yeah, you can, it doesn't matter as long as they're on the same plane.
Okay, I thought it was 100 feet distance, but for some reason.
No, that's the sending stone.
Okay, well,
Well, the one from the very first campaign.
Okay.
Man,
Okay, yep.
how does Dusty know so much?
What is a campaign?
Yeah, so I explained over any distance, an hour long, 8 creatures, so all of us can talk to each other. I chose. I excluded the goat, but for
Naturally, I kind of understand exactly why you're bringing it. But to warn you, we are going to have some trouble with it when it gets to stealth at it. Especially if it keeps doing that.
I can always put it to sleep if I need to.
Oh. Well, that will work, yes.
And then I cast Goodberry, and then I give the goat a Goodberry.
And the goat sniffs it and then eats it.
And then I give everybody else a Goodberry. And say, don't try not to eat this. Just keep this as a backup, you know. And I give how many of us are there?
There should be a total of 5 of you plus the goat.
5. Okay, so I give 1 to Dusty as well, so that's 6. 1 goes to the goat, and I give. I think it's 8, isn't it? Or is it 10? 10. Okay.
It should give
so
you
I give,
10.
Yeah, so I give.
Okay, I'll take it.
I give the rest. I give 1 to everybody, and then I give the rest to Redrick. So, no, I do
Okay.
not eat the berry. And then I tell Dusty I'm ready to go when you are.
Alright, well, since I don't have to write down anything anymore, let's go ahead and start on our way.
And Dusty begins to lead you guys out of the encampment towards the sort of like the encampment. The entrance is facing towards the south, and as you start to step out, you take a left and start heading due east.
Along the way, can I just keep recasting the telepathic bond and the semantic steed?
Yeah.
And could I also, in the downtime, try to learn Dimension Door?
Pretty sure you have to use a long rest. I'll read it, and if it is,
Okay.
if it does say long rest specifically, then you wouldn't be able to do it until later.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's pretty specific.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't have a problem with it. All right. So as you guys start to head out, Dusty starts to speak in your minds.
So, this portion of the forest isn't too terribly dangerous, so there's no real reason to be on your guard just yet. Always be perceptive of the surroundings, but for now we can take it easy, unless you would rather us hurry. Which brings me to the first question about our trek to the base of the volcano. Are we in a terrible rush? Or can we keep it safe and steady in terms of pace?
I'm willing to be...
I think safe and steady would be better.
Yeah, safe and steady.
I agree.
It's not a bad choice.
Very well. For now, we will continue at a moderate pace, but once we start to get a few miles outside of the encampment, things will start to become wilder. And that is when we definitely need to be on our guard.
I tell you what, we'll get there a lot later if we die.
Or,
If
I guess that is
if at all.
correct. I didn't see what the...
We got to see what the weather was like today. Clear skies.
I see clouds.
Well, yeah, clear skies. Clouds are within the trees because it is, after all, a jungle.
I was just kidding. I meant like outside my
Oh.
window. Outside my window, I see clouds.
Oh.
Do you have a,
Gotcha.
do you have a random generator for the weather?
I do. Yeah.
Fun.
I don't know. You guys, the little
Do you tell
time
that,
thing.
like what temperament
I
we're
do.
in, like climate. Interesting.
Yeah, so if you, I don't know if you guys see it, but wherever your calendar widget is, there should be, at least for me, on the top right, there's a weather button, and I can click it and see what it is.
Plum Forest? Wait, where's it at? Top right?
Top right of wherever, like, you should have a, wherever your timer is. Like, that shows you the day and what time it is during the day. And the top right of that little thing, there should be like a sun behind the clouds. And if you click that, if it's not there, then I guess they didn't make it for players to see.
Yeah, or it's something you have to enable.
Yeah, maybe. I'll take a look at it later. But yeah, clear skies. And it is getting rather chilly outside. It's roughly 36 to 40 degrees. Because you guys are in the getting to the fall months. Actually, hold on. This is the wrong. Let's do that. 46 degrees. Anyway, as you
Celsius or
guys...
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't do Celsius. I'm not like that.
Okay, so another couple of options that I need to put forth is, since we're not in too terribly much of a rush, would you prefer the safer route that has more rugged terrain, so it will impede our movement quite a bit, but it will also make it to where we're easier, or we have an easier capability of hiding if we do find a monster out in the wild? Or do you want more of a direct route, which would take us through some pretty sticky territory? Currently, I am taking us on the safest route.
I'm willing to play it safe.
Yeah, I think since this is really our first true venture out into these lands, we should probably at least play it safe for now. So we can at least get a lay of the land.
Also, pretty sure it'd be good to hit this thing at our full strength.
Yeah.
True, and you will have plenty of time to rest while we're on our journey, because it will take us, at the rate that we're going to be going, at least 2, if not 3 days to reach the base of the volcano.
Okay.
And even then, we'll have to circle around to the specific location that the Glavenous was last spotted, which is on the western portion. We will be reaching the volcano from the northern portion. But if at any point you do wish to change direction, change course, we can do so. There are no roads in this forest. We make our own path.
Okay.
Well then.
I don't believe I have much else in terms of how this should all go. But I can guarantee you we will make it there for you to pursue your contract. I've never seen a Glavenous before, but I have seen other parties come back from facing one, and it seems to be quite a brutal beast. What made you decide to take the Glavenous over other contracts? I saw some slightly easier, less lethal creatures to fight.
Being in over our heads, to be honest, but
Is that normal for this group?
I think it's just the territory. We're excited to be monster hunting, I suppose, but
Well, that makes sense then, I guess. I do believe you've already proven your capabilities, but yes, why not use this to prove yourself even more? Very few hunters, I think, could boast about taking on a Glavenous as their first take, first official contract. Thus, depending on if you're able to carve some high quality materials from it, you could be walking away with a very powerful set of materials.
yeah, exactly. We will definitely need them in the future.
Oh yes.
Also, Jeff, it does not say anything specifically about whether it has to be done during a rest or not. So, yes, each level of the spell, it takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold. But I don't remember if I told you or not. There weren't many like magic materials for you to buy at the place. So what I will allow, Dimension Door you probably won't be able to learn just yet, but I'll let you start copying any level 1 spells. Those materials should be pretty basic in terms of being able...
Okay. Even though Dimension Door doesn't have any components?
Oh yeah, that's why we were... Okay, yeah, never mind, I remember now.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And then also, basic travel rules. You guys are able to travel for, I believe, 8 hours a day is what the rule book says.
How long has it been since we arrived in town?
Since you arrived in town?
2 days, right?
2 days. Oh,
yeah, it took you, from where you were, it took you 2 days to get to the encampment.
Okay, so it's been like about 3 days total then?
Correct.
I'm guessing. Okay.
Yeah, so this is day 3 after, after you had summoned the devil.
Yeah.
You got 7 more.
Oh, god, dude. Alright.
That's quite the cooldown.
Right? Shit.
Was it 1 week or... Right? It's 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week.
So is it like 7 days week or like...
Too bad it didn't specify 7 days, huh?
Correct, yeah.
Brady's over here. My weeks are 30 days.
In my world, let me push up my glasses to the bridge of my nose.
Actually.
Okay, now it sounds like that.
Actually.
That's one of my favorite memes of all time. Actually.
Alright. So... Yeah. You guys start to, walk through the forest. And we'll go ahead and time skip just about... We'll do every hour. I'll have you guys do a perception check.
Jeez.
You sure you don't want to be like, oh hey, we made it through the forest safe and sound?
Positive.
Okay.
There's no fun in that.
I know. I was just kidding.
Are you though?
No. You know me, I like to fight stuff.
As she looks around, starts sweating.
Yeah, let me roll perception. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so after the first hour, go ahead and somebody or all of you roll me a perception check.
Perceptione. My perception not work? No, I guess I'm gonna do it again then.
Wow. I was really perceptive.
You percepted, yeah, it was just Frederick.
And there goes our good rolls.
I don't say you should. I didn't.
Well, that's because at the end of the hour, you're over here ritually casting, so.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
I didn't even mean to hit Frederick though. I hit the percept. Oh, it's probably because I hit him last. I did the one. I just it's at him. That's why.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
So as you guys are walking, Dusty comes over the telepathic bond.
We're a few miles outside now, so we'll go ahead and start taking it slow. Keep your eyes open for anything, especially any big movements. most of the creatures are going to be a lot larger than ourselves. So this should be fairly easy to spot, although there have been sightings of creatures that blend in very well into the environment and set up ambushes for travelers.
Okay.
As you guys are looking around, Frederick is you said he's flying ahead of you guys, right?
More like just like 10 feet above us. Just
Okay.
he's above me. Like I'm imagining I'm in the middle, but he's mainly watching Dusty and looking ahead.
So Frederick is looking ahead and looking at Dusty. He sees all types of different small creatures like deer and squirrels and stuff like that. In the distance, he can see like a pack of Jaggy, the creatures that you guys have already met. They look to be sort of hunting in a pack. One of them, as you guys are moving around and such, seems to have picked up your scent and looks over, but as it notices how many of you there are, it kind of cries out, and the rest of the Jaggies look over and they start to run away from you. Dr. Thorpe and Trina, they hear the cries from the creatures and realize that they're somewhat remarkably close. So they take a look and they can see the herd of Jaggy as they're running away. Lloyd ends up just looking around and being like, oh, this is quite a lovely place. I'll probably just ritual cast real quick because I got to do it twice. And begins doing his Dusty is looking dead ahead. He doesn't seem to be fazed by the Jaggy's calls or anything like that. Jim, you're looking around up in the trees to the sides, looking at the mud, and you don't notice anything special. You hear all the various creatures as they're calling out. Eventually you look up and see Trina and Thorpe looking over, which when you look over, the trees are too tall from where their trunks kind of split off to where they're able to look through to see. So small man syndrome has affected you in seeing the Jaggy, but you hear them.
Basically, I'm very small.
Do not worry, do not fear, Jaggy. They hunt in packs, but the small ones would never attack a pack of creatures our size. Perhaps maybe if we were all halflings like Jimothy, they might try to take a taste. But especially without their parentals accompanying them on the hunt, and with no real need to stick their neck out, we should be safe from them. And if they're out hunting this way, that means that this area is relatively safe.
No.
Swaggy.
Did you just say swaggy?
Swaggy Jaggy.
Oh my god.
I love it.
I have a bowler hat on now, Trina. I talk different, see?
People with bowler
You got
hats want
that?
to say swaggy.
I got my swag, you got that?
So I've heard talks through the town. You all aren't from the islands, which I guess no one's really from the island, but you all are relatively new, as in only arriving in the past few days. Are there any particular interests of the island that you've come for? Perhaps maybe you're looking to make a name for yourself, or maybe you just heard that the pay is good, or do you just seek the thrill and adventures of these large creatures?
All of the above, really.
Kind of looking
Find
for a
someone.
toe. You got that?
You're looking for a toe.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed you're missing quite a few. Have you thought of perhaps having Wrench make you artificial ones?
That's a great idea, but they won't stay on.
I'm sure he could implant them into your bones, as he has done with his arm.
You know, there's a curse on my feet, and I'm not sure I'm willing to get stabbed in the bones just to have them fall right out.
A curse. Like magic.
Yes.
What happened when you got cursed? Were you raiding an underground crypt or something like that, or fighting off an ancient evil?
I was walking home from town and was assaulted by a hag. So, no. I used to be a farmer, but then I took a knife to the toe. Now I'm an adventurer.
I don't believe I really understand, but that's quite tragic. Why would a hag want to take your toes? I've heard of the creatures, and I've heard that they
Anyone
are
hear that?
devious.
Anyone hear that roar in the background?
So,
Is it
from
coming
what
from
you've
me?
gathered, there are a lot of roars in the distance. And so far, from what you've gathered, as well as what Frederick has gathered, is whenever certain ones come on, Dusty, Frederick, since he's keeping a careful eye on Dusty, he can see that Dusty is sort of trying to calculate where the roar came from. But other ones he doesn't seem to be too worried about.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep it cool if he's keeping it cool then.
Long story short, it's just pure evil is the reason why she did it. Because she wants to have fun.
I'm dreadfully sorry to hear that. I'm sure it must have been really difficult trying to learn how to live with the new balances.
Yeah, got over it pretty quick. Was able to compensate. And
So
like
you're certain
My-
that your toes is around here in this forest.
yes.
That is a mighty strange place for someone to hide a toe. Although I guess it's mighty strange for someone to hide a toe.
It's not that strange if you think about it.
Well,
You know
maybe
that
if you were
there's-
mechanical.
No, hiding the toe here. If you were a hag, there's also hags here, right?
I thought that they usually plotted against each other.
I'm
That's how the
starting to
stories go.
realize that I may not just be a game, but a tool.
Oh,
Regardless,
You're being
it doesn't
used.
change my motivation.
I can respect that. Well, I'll keep an eye out for any toes,
Thank you.
but I honestly do not believe that we will see any
Do you know exactly where Elsbeth, her little volcano hut is?
Elspeth,
You ever
say?
seen it? There's the hag that lives near the volcano. Are you aware?
I have heard of one. I have never known her name, but she lives on the south portion of the volcano overlooking the desert.
That is one of our stops on this journey. If that wasn't communicated already, I apologize.
It was not, but I do not mind. The normal rates will maintain.
More coin for you, right?
Correct.
What do you spend your money on?
Well, if it's not buying materials from hunters, from the scraps that they do not know or they no longer need in order to outfit myself for these types of journeys. Usually I do not spend it on much more than maintenance, as well as to send it back home to my creator.
Oh.
And who might that be, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, to be honest, I've never known my creator to be a person, but a place.
Oh. What do you mean?
Well,
Like
perhaps, you've seen Wolforge before.
I don't believe I have.
All of you roll history at disadvantage.
Aye.
Okay. So disadvantage 13, 9, 13, 10. Okay, so yeah, based on what you can remember, this is the first Warforged that any of you have actually come across. To include anything that you've learned. Well, no, I would say that, let's see. We'll say that the 13s, so Lloyd, you've heard of the Warforged and that they're like sentient technological creatures that were created by mostly gnomes, had to do with it. Gnomes and dwarves and halflings. But you didn't get much other teachings about them. Trina, you've been told about them and how they were used in one of the wars that your goddesses participated in back in the last demon incursion, but it was pretty much glossed over as the Warforged were ultimately defeated. And Jim, you've never seen one, but you've heard from one of your friends, one of your drinking buddies, how he's got a best friend that is one, and you've never believed him a bit when he tells these stories, because he's usually trashed by the time he brings it up.
Okay.
Well, perhaps a small history lesson then for our travels. Warforged, we were invented, from my understanding, very, very many centuries ago. And once we were manifested into the first Warforged to be created, from that moment on, the creators strived in finding a way to produce us at a more quick rate, a faster rate. And then I believe it was their intention to have enough of us, almost like a autonomous war force, which is where we get our name, the Warforged. Exactly what we were created to do. Fight in our creator's wars with no emotion, with no self identity, no reason not to fight. But it was after the last demon incursion, or at least years following, that the final war was wrought and the Warforged were taken down. I do not know the exact details, as the records have been lost with time, but a key facility was destroyed, but not all of them were destroyed. And my creator is actually somewhere in the northern ice lands of the Mithril-born clan. There was a factory that I was produced at, and I was taught by many of my brethren, I guess, about some of our history, as well as our capabilities, and that our purpose is to rectify the mistakes of our past creators, now that we are in complete control of our own fate. Something that you wouldn't necessarily think would be possible for a creation. People typically create things for them to serve the creator. But we are aiming to forge a new legacy.
Brady, when you said he was in the north, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, he said the factory he was produced at was in the lands of the Mithril-born clan.
Okay, I thought he said something about north. Okay. I wanted to ask, does he know where the Mithril-born clan area is at exactly? On the main continent, or?
Yes, the northern snow-covered lands is home to the Mithril-born clan, which is actually the host of the encampments. I'm sure that you've realized Ignatius was a noble in the main city of the Mithril-born clan, and was given the duty of founding and leading this encampment.
Wait, is
After
he
the
from
war,
or?
no, he's from the snowlands, so I'm sure he's quite uncomfortable here, as the temperatures are drastically different, although it is getting cooler.
Well, you send money back there?
I do. I send it back to those that run the factory so that we may create and train more Warforged.
You ever go back there, or?
Yeah, he shakes his head no.
Oh, it has been many, many decades since I last set foot in my factory. I don't not long to go back, but I don't have any real need to. My purpose, I have found, is here.
I mean, they could fix your voice box, couldn't they?
I believe they could wrench his off it many times, but it is easier without a voice box, especially being a guide. It's a lot safer. It's a lot easier for me to hear when I'm not capable of speaking. It's almost as if losing that sense has made my other one stronger, which I believe is a phenomenon in fleshy creatures. If you lose your eyes, you're better at hearing and feeling. If you lose your taste, you can smell better. Is that actually true? Do you know?
Do I know, Brady?
If you're proficient in medicine, you can roll.
Wait.
Why did I roll that? Sorry.
You're good. Are you proficient in medicine, though? You are not. That's good. Thorpe is. Thorpe's the only one.
Oh, that was funny.
Got ourselves a joker.
Oh, we need a medicine check for me. You want me to roll for medicine?
Yeah, please, if you want, of course. You don't have to.
You could just leave the question unanswered.
So Thorpe, you have
Is this a
seen
sitcom
and
now?
I know, right?
With the laugh track.
So Thorpe, many of your patients that you saw back at your old institution, some of them were either blind, deaf, had no sense of smell or sense of taste. You know, you name it, you've seen it, and you've noticed that the opposite sense is actually indeed more powerful typically. But it's not like anything absurd. It's not like if you were to make yourself blind, all of a sudden you can hear things from, miles away, like hearing a leaf or a feather drop to the ground. But it does give you a heightened perception.
I explained that to them.
Okay.
Flesh creatures are quite marvelous things, even though eventually it deteriorates and there's no real repairing of it. Unlike the Warforged, if my body were to be destroyed or rusted, as long as my core is still intact, it could be replaced into a new chassis, into a new body. In fact, if I didn't want to be as quiet as I am, I could upgrade my chassis into that much more of a warrior like you, Timothy. But I prefer the chassis that I have. It's lighter, allows me to run a bit faster, and remain very quiet compared to some of my brethren.
And if you haven't noticed yet, as he walks, as he moves his arms and stuff, you don't hear any type of clinking. You don't hear any footsteps. He is very, very light on his toes, but he's also able to still maintain a relatively steady pace.
This is quite intriguing. How silent you are.
Well, yes, when I realized what it is that I wish to do, I have made some notable upgrades. Some portions of my body are actually outfitted with mithril, very light and sturdy material, which does make it a lot easier for me to travel quietly.
Intriguing. As he's still observing Dusty's legs and arms and everything.
And as you're doing such,
you do. When the sun hits the metal surfaces of his arms just right, you can see sort of like a blue tint You're not exactly sure why that is, but you start to hypothesize that mithril has a bluish tint to it, unlike steel or iron.
Note. And you said who created you?
My creator is actually a place.
Interesting. And Thorpe, like, real quick, takes out his notebook and just starts writing.
The exact location, I will not share with you. But perhaps maybe if you were to ever go to the Mithril-born clan, you would be able to see that there is a small colony of us that live within the main city, mostly as emissaries between our people. They assist the dwarves with their various activities throughout the city, and in exchange the dwarves give us free reign of their lands to do as we need, as well as to harvest the material needed to cultivate more warforged.
Incredible.
Yes, I would say so. The dwarves are much more understanding, I believe, than the elves. I've heard of very few warforged that get along with elves of older age. I believe it's because some of them may have lived through some of the events. Or perhaps maybe their loved ones did, and they've heard the terrible stories.
I must say, the dwarves have quite a delicious knack of creation.
Yes, I would say so, but it's really the gnomes that have the knack for craftsmanship. They are at the forefront of artificers in the Mithril-born clan. In fact, if it was not for the gnomes, I don't believe that they would have ever come across the capabilities of traveling in the air on those airships. Did you know that the Artificers College is actually based in the mountains of the Mithril-born clan's homestead?
I did not.
Yes, many technological advances are crafted there. Some say that living so high above sea level and normal ground helps to elevate the mind. But I don't necessarily understand.
That is, I must say, I am quite curious on everything that you know, what you've experienced in your silence.
I have taken many notes, but I have also burned them all. But luckily I keep an archive within my core. But it will take time to filter through it, and I don't really have any reason to, especially while we are on a journey. Perhaps, maybe though, when all is said is done and we have completed this task, if you're staying in the encampment for a while, perhaps maybe we could rediscover some of these things that I've picked up on.
I would like that.
But my time is precious to me and to my people, so I would not do prolonged amounts of it without being properly compensated, and hopefully you understand.
I understand that. I'll make sure it's worthwhile for you.
And I look forward to reliving past moments and memories with you.
And Thorpe just smiles and nods his head.
So Lloyd, if you could deduct, we'll say that another hour has passed. So go ahead and at this point, wait, let's see. I got you at 5 hours on your thing. You did 3, and it's 25 an hour essentially. So make sure you deduct another 50 gold. And then you've got 3 more hours before you'll have Dimension Door in your spellbook. I forget, you have to wait. I think you have to wait to switch your spells out, right?
Yeah, I'll have to wait till next morning. And then platinum is worth how many gold again?
10 gold. So
10
you
gold.
deduct 5 platinum, you're good.
Okay.
So as another hour passes, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Do you want me to do one with Frederick? I did the last one on accident.
Yeah, Frederick, go for it. But since you're going to be ritually casting at the top of the hour, I'll just have you not do one. You can keep the 18 roll, and we'll just see what Frederick's bonus is. It is a +3.
Back to
So he has
force.
21. All right. So let's see.
Wait. Should I roll it or no?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So Frederick comes down and lands on your shoulder, Lloyd, and sort of then takes off and starts going a little bit to the south. And you can hear him tell you during your ritual, the forest seems to be getting darker, but the sun is up in the sky really high.
I ask Dusty, what is that unusual for this area?
No. Even though this is a safer route, this part of the trek will be the hardest challenge for us. We are entering the darkest portion of the ancient forest, which I believe is also the most ancient portion of the forest. Try your best to avoid the spider webs.
Oh.
Oh. I don't like spiders.
Yes, well, I can guarantee that they do fancy flesh creatures such as yourselves.
Oh, lovely.
But as long as we avoid contact, we should be fine.
Would be unfortunate.
So as you guys are moving, you do notice for whatever reason, as you start to get into this darker part of the forest, you look up in the sky and it is still clear, but you do not see the sun. The foliage is so thick in the trees that it has essentially created something like a ceiling, almost as if it's made out of cement, blocking a lot of the light. There are patches every now and then where a stream of light does come through, and you're able to see bits and pieces even without dark vision. But it's also gotten a lot chillier. And at this point, you've noticed that Dusty has slowed his pace.
This will be somewhat tricky. Hold here.
And he stops.
In the meantime, can I pull up the goat to me?
Yeah.
And then can I get someone like a good doctor? Can I say, hey, after I do this, hand the goat to me, and then I hypnotic gaze on the goat.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for it, or are you just gonna say the goat just gets hypnotic?
Pretty sure it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a thing.
I think I have to maybe do like a wisdom save or something.
Let's see.
Let me go to my thingy.
Hypnotic gaze. Choose one creature you see. If the target can see or hear you, it must make a wisdom save or be charmed until the end. Okay. Let me roll the goat's saving throw. I believe it has to beat a 16 for you, or is it 17? 17. Which it rolled a 6.
Okay.
So the goat looks up at you, and as it does that, your eyes flash purple, and the goat's all of a sudden, its tongue folds out of its mouth, and it just stares at you.
Okay.
And every few seconds, your eyes flash purple again. I believe with this, don't you have to
stay within 5 feet?
Essentially, yeah. So you're able to essentially use your action to do this, but you're having to constantly maintain this in order to keep the goat kind of in this blissful state.
I just hold the goat.
Yeah, the Phantom Steed is able to hold the goat. Dusty looks
Back. That is quite clever. Magic, I assume.
Yes.
Well, I don't have the magical capabilities such as you, but I do have useful inventions to help us. So please try to follow my lead as best you can.
And you watch as he puts his hammer onto his back, and you see his hand sort of displace. So if you were to make a karate chop motion with your hand right in front of you, pointed away from you, the palm, essentially at the wrist, detaches, and the whole palm of his hand folds back onto his forearm, which would, and then it releases, or like a metal tube comes out from it, and he starts to, you can hear what sounds like inhaling coming from him, and as he exhales the fog and such, a mist comes out of his arm, and you start to see little beads of dew form around these spider webs. And as he does this, almost like a, think of like a Mission Impossible or some shit where they spray to see the lasers. That's literally what he's doing, except for it's spider webs. And he's putting moisture onto the webs so that you can see them.
Nice. That's tricky.
So he does that, and then he starts to bob and weave through the entanglement of silk.
Again, do not touch it. I don't believe that we would be targets, but they would definitely start watching us.
How much?
For Lloyd, this is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh God.
I'm assuming I cannot stay on the steed, correct?
You could,
know,
if you
in
want to just like
Mulan, when
run. Go ahead.
Mushu's riding the panda and it just walks straight up the tree. That's what I imagine here.
I don't think the steed can do that.
Unless you have the spider walk spell learned, which I don't believe you do.
I did not learn it from the book, no.
Yeah. So no, the the horse cannot, the phantom steed cannot do such. But
yep, go
you
on.
can dismiss it, or you could just run through the silk.
I'm not gonna run through the silk. Could I just dismiss the steed for now?
Yep.
And then
I don't think a goat weighs too much because your strength score might be a little difficult for you to maneuver with the goat through the web.
yeah. Could I ask Dr. Thorpe to assist me with said goat as I look at the goat?
Yeah.
Sure. And I put my hand out to reach for like the whatever rope collar that's holding the goat.
Okay.
Would we be able to both safely get through the webs and me pacify the goat?
Yeah. Every few moments you have Thorpe stop so that you can do whatever it is you're doing to the goat. I don't believe you've ever used the ability in front of your group, so they're seeing this, I think, for the first time.
Yeah.
But you guys do notice that Lloyd every now and then looks at the goat, makes sure to make eye contact, and Lloyd's eyes flash purple.
Do not do that to me, Gypsy.
Don't worry.
This part will be tough. Definitely do your best, but do not fret if you fail.
And
Is it the
Dusty,
safe route?
Well, yes, the creatures that live and inhabit here are usually more interested in larger food sources. You all would be perhaps maybe a snack for a few of the spiderlings. And I mean all of you grouped together would be only for a few of the many thousands of spiderlings that live in this forest. Or at least this part. Typically,
I hate spiders.
I can imagine so. They are much larger than you.
so as Dusty says that, you notice that he's misting the web, and he actually gets to a portion. He takes out his essentially a small mining pick. He gets to the trunk of one of the trees, and he jabs it in the side, hoists himself up, and very mechanically is able to move himself and manipulate his body past this portion of the web.
This won't be easy for you all. But you must try.
So I need everyone to roll me a dexterity check. You can do acrobatics. Answer.
Is it small enough for me to fly through? As
If you
Beltran?
transform into Beltran, yes.
Okay, I'll fly through the webs then.
Okay. So you watch as Trina poofs, or essentially materializes into Beltran and swoops through with relative ease.
And how far?
There it is.
How far is this little trail of webs?
It's as far as you can see. Which, with the little bits of light, is only maybe at maximum a couple 100 feet.
Okay. What I'm going to do is, all right. Brady, how does gaseous form work?
Let me read it. I have an idea as to what it does, but I've never had anyone use it.
You're turning into a fart?
Yes.
Art. I particularly like this name.
A devilish mist. We won't say that.
Oh, okay. A red fart.
A devilish toot or devilish nudie.
Yeah, so this would essentially turn you into vapor. So you would be able to just very slowly pass through. Because, I mean, the forest is already pretty foggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could use that.
Go and impregnate someone now.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there.
Oh, that's right. Most people don't know Greek mythology.
No, is that a Loki thing?
No,
Are
Greek
you sure you
mythology.
just didn't catch
No,
high school
Zeus-
health class?
No,
Because
Zeus.
there's other ways to impregnate people besides
We
turning
know
into
about the
God.
goose. We know about Goose and Zeus and the goose, but we don't. know
No,
about
Zeus turned into a cloud of mist and got a woman pregnant, and then
Like a
obviously
sperm
had
whale?
Another...
No, no.
No,
So
I don't know how it worked.
Like a
There's no
cloud of
specifics.
sperm in the ocean? Like that?
Okay.
No,
This is
this is very uncomfortable.
I know that Zeus got like thousands of people pregnant, but I did not know about the missed one.
A man couldn't keep it in his dress.
Can you blame him?
He's seen a woman. He said, "I like you."
Yeah, no, he anyway. I'm just
It's all good. Don't worry.
All right,
So who is a willing creature that you choose?
I'm going to do it on myself.
Okay.
What about
So
the
Dr.
goat?
Thorpe puts the goat down, and he turns into gas.
Let's see. How much of this stuff do we have to pass through, Brady?
It's a lot.
Okay.
Essentially, there's going to be a couple of dexterity checks. There's going to be, I believe it's 5 for each person, and if anyone fails 3 of them, something happens.
Wait.
But Trina and Dr. Thorpe have used methods to get around it.
So it's on you too.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Brady, at what point did the web start to happen?
Pretty much immediately as you started getting into the forest.
Okay. How tall are said trees?
30 plus feet.
And I think to our Warforged friend Dusty, how far is this forest?
Not even a whole mile, perhaps a quarter.
Okay. Well, I might just so say I were to polymorph myself into a creature and carry said goat out of the forest. Do you think there's anything that would try to eat me if I am posing as like a giant
to
owl
fly?
above said forest? Yes.
I guess it would depend, but yes, perhaps. And depending on how large you are, the spiders themselves might try to catch you if you're too low.
Alright. Should we just leave the goat then? If I am not confident I can not get through the webs without tripping them?
If you wish, but I would hate for you to have brought that resource and have it wasted.
Put it in the bag of holding.
It will die.
I don't
a
think it would
bit.
fit.
Cut it up.
It would.
It
I think
would
I have
fit.
enough weight
Yeah,
still.
you
Well, no, it's
definitely
not the
But-
weight, it's the opening. I don't think a normal person that's medium-sized can get into a bag of holding,
How about...
and a
okay.
goat is a medium beast.
How about I just do this? How about I just... Can I polymorph it into something very small, Brady?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's a lot to get a goddamn goat.
If you wish, we could trek a little bit to the south of this forest. But there are creatures that we may run into. Also, another opportunity would be to go ahead and alert the spiders, and perhaps see if there's something that we could do to gain passageway through their forest without inflicting any type of harm.
Say what? Wait, wait, do these spiders talk?
Why, yes.
What do you... Why, yes? What? Spiders don't talk.
Oh, well, these... Don't think of these as your normal spiders.
Okay. I am going to... Brady, what's the smallest creature I can make this thing? Can I make a snail?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a polymorph into a snail.
Okay, so the goat turns into a snail.
Then he proceeds to trip and fall and crush the snail.
If
And
you
then,
wish.
Dusty holds out his left palm.
I have gone through this forest many times. I have learned the ways of getting through the webbing. I could hold on to the goat.
Oh,
How
yes,
long
please.
will it remain in this form, though?
An hour.
About as long as we'll need to get through the forest.
Sounds good. Okay. And then, in the meantime, Brady, I'm gonna cast guidance and then try to do a dex thing, go through the forest. Can I do that?
Yep.
Okay.
So essentially it'll
Four.
be you and Jim.
Am I doing
And-
dex?
Yeah, do the acrobatics check. And what I'll do is if both of you combined fail 5 times, something happens, since it's just the two of you. But if you succeed 5 times, then you'll be fine.
Okay.
And that is the first failure.
Even with a +2?
Correct.
Okay.
Jimothy?
I rolled earlier when you asked for it the
Oh.
first time. Didn't come up with any bullshit. Just
11 is also a failure.
Aggressive.
we're in trouble.
So as you guys are climbing through the web, Jimothy is actually pretty capable of grabbing onto that hook, pulling himself up, and jumping over the other side. But he misjudges based on the fog, hits one of the tree branches and slips and plucks one of the silk strings. But not enough to where it snaps, but it does start to vibrate. And Dusty reaches out and stops its movement with a pinch of his fingers. Lloyd, as he reaches up to grab the hook, he sort of does a 1, 2, 3 to heave himself up. And as he does that, the hook undoes itself and he falls over, hitting some of the silken threads, which Dusty tries to stop them moving as best he can. As you guys... Rose! No! Sorry, she was chewing the baseboard. That's bad. Quit! Lay down.
Beat the shit out of her.
No, don't need to do that.
Oh, not Ingrid. That wasn't Ingrid.
If Ingrid started chewing the baseboard, I don't know.
That'd be a bigger issue, I think.
But anyway, so Dusty kind of shrugs and is like,
Well, I guess better luck on the next bout, but hopefully we don't run into too many difficult portions like that.
Question. What do these spiders usually bargain for passage?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I've never met them. I've only heard that some folks that did have to meet with them were able to appease them some way. So we'll learn together, I think.
So,
Unless you wish to turn back.
No. Okay. I'm going to look at Jim, and I'm going to cast guidance on Jim, okay?
Yay.
And then I'm going to say go first.
all right, so another acrobatics check from Jim.
And add a d4.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
1 success, 2 fails.
And
Now,
you said
Lloyd,
if we
it is
get,
your turn.
And you said if we get how many we fail this?
If you guys get 5 total, before you get 5 successes.
Okay. How far is Jim gone? Like,
So essentially, it's for the whole trek through the forest. So the whole hour, various points, you come to a spot that's a little tougher to get through than just merely passing through it.
Okay, and I'm assuming Misty Step would be a bad idea, right?
You could do that. It would just burn your spell slot.
Oh, fuck that then. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. So go ahead and
just
burn a
didn't know-
spell slot, and that'll be
Yeah,
an automatic success.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Shit.
So we're 2 and 2.
Correct. You don't have to actually cast it. I'll get rid of
okay.
that.
Thank you.
Oh dear.
Whoops. I didn't know I could move like that. Neat.
Yeah, that's what the Misty Step effect thing does. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'll add my token. I didn't know. It's like usually I can't on this screen.
Oh yeah, I've got a invisible wall above you guys.
Okay.
But not
Well,
to
that's
this
funny.
side.
Well, yeah, the sides are you're able to move all over the place.
Aw. I thought I could sneak up over here.
All right. So you get to the next one. Jimothy, go ahead and roll me.
I cast guidance on him before he does it.
Yep, that's fine.
Oh, but surprise. Oh, that's probably not gonna work.
14 just barely makes it.
Yay.
Do you burn
3.
another spell slot?
Yep. You want to do it for me, or you want me to take it off?
I can burn it for you.
Okay.
Just gonna send it. One more with guidance, I assume?
Correct.
And how many are you at now? 4 successes?
Come on, 4. Yay.
So yeah, 13 does not make it.
14's the DC, and when nobody's proficient in acrobatics, what's wrong with you?
It's a low DC.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Do you burn another spell slot, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Are you keeping it at 2nd level, or do you burn a higher?
Let me go back, because I closed the page.
If you have
You've
2nd
got-
levels, then use them.
Wait, where are we at? Wait, what did I burn before?
2nd level. You've burned 2 2nd levels for your Misty Step, since that's what it is. You've got 1 more.
Wait, wouldn't
Yeah.
this be the automatic success? Or no, we're 3 and...
Yeah, you're
Three,
at 3
3 and
failures,
3.
4, so Lloyd's turn.
Yeah, I'll just burn it again, yeah.
Okay, so that is the... So you're able to eventually get through to the end. So with Dr. Thorpe being a poof of mist, how long does that last for? 1 hour? Okay. So towards the end, Dr. Thorpe poofs back into his normal self. Beltran is waiting on the other side, and Lloyd and Jimothy get through the last bit, and Dusty is waiting there.
It seems that magic is actually quite important to you all.
It's
it
very
seems
helpful.
to get you through a lot of things that otherwise you don't seem to be physically capable of.
It's helpful.
So it does take roughly an hour. So once you start to move out of the dark portion of the forest, as you can start to see the light again, the gaseous form starts to materialize back into Thorpe's normal self. Dusty sees the snails start to grow, and he puts it onto the floor, and within a matter of moments it turns back into the goat.
I'll poof back into my shape too.
Very interesting. I'll be honest, I thought we were going to get to meet the spiders, so I'm a tiny bit disappointed, but also grateful.
Oh, it's all good. Also, I don't know if we can still talk to him at this point. Because
Actually,
we're out.
you're true on that one. So at this point, Dusty's looking at you all and saying stuff, and you can see his expressions through his face, but you don't hear anything. And he turns around and starts walking away.
I call back to Dusty. Hey, hold on now. Wait.
And he continues moving along as if he thinks he heard you through telepathic bond, probably.
I go tell Frederick to peck him on the head.
Frederick swoops down, lands on his shoulder, and starts pecking, which you see Dusty sort of swat at Frederick and turn around, and Frederick is moving his hands as he's talking. Apparently, he points at the bird.
We can't hear you anymore. We can't, in our heads, still wore off.
And Dusty sort of twists his head a little bit, and then holds up the number 3.
I don't know what you're saying. You're saying number 3. Hold on. I need to cast the spell again. Give me a moment. Take a little break here. If this is the safe spot.
And Dusty shrugs, pulls out his pad of paper. His finger turns into a pen, and he starts writing. He goes, "Well, it's as safe as it could be, since we're on the edge of the dark forest. No creature would willingly come this close."
I'll cast the steed and then the telepathic bond again.
Okay. So 20 minutes pass. The steed pops in at the first 10 minutes, and then the telepathic bond is back up.
I totally forgot that the limitations of the spell were within an hour.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for pecking you on the head there as well. I just didn't know how to get your attention without screaming.
Oh, it's okay. I thought it was a random bird attacking me, honestly.
Okay, so where to from here?
Well, we start heading a little more east, and then we'll break for camp within the next few hours. From there, once we rest and gain some provisions for you all, we can start heading towards the south a bit, and we should be coming on to these sites sometime midday tomorrow. And from what I've heard, is the Glavenous does patrol around the base of the volcano, so it could be very well that we will see it tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. I need to use the bathroom, Brady.
Go for it.
Yeah, if anyone needs a bio break, go ahead. But otherwise, Dusty turns and starts moving onward. He's picked up the pace just a wee bit.
I continue to follow him.
Go ahead and roll me perception checks. I will roll for Lloyd.
Thank goodness.
So as you guys are moving forward, you get probably about half a mile away from the dark forest, and Dusty draws out his hammer and holds up a hand.
Alright.
And as you guys all hold position, he holds that hand parallel to the ground and starts to lower it, and he starts to duck, essentially conveying that he wants you all to do the same thing.
I'll jump and climb a tree. No, I'll lay down.
I think we'll all duck.
Yeah, I go prone.
Okay. So as everyone gets down, Dusty then begins to move forward, but he comes across.
You all stay here. If I need to make a distraction, I will. And then you all run for it.
Run where? Straight?
Run in the opposite direction of the Zinogre.
And as he says that, you guys see in the distance, about 100 feet away, you can see this creature. It's starting to come out of the bushes. You can hear trees starting to fall to the side. You hear the bushes rustling very aggressively. And you can, as it gets closer and closer, you can hear it sniffing. And as it looks around, it starts walking forward again, getting close, about 30 feet away from you guys, as it starts to sniff the ground. And then all of a sudden it sort of like jerks its head up and looks towards the west. As it howls out, you see its fur electrify in a very quick flash. So the fur is sort of tinted sort of like a lime green, and it bursts into the blue color of lightning, and it starts to dash away from where you guys are. And it gets through the foliage to the point where you can just barely see bits of these sparks, and you start to hear clashing between this creature and something else.
Maybe this would be the best time to leave.
My thoughts exactly. Let us make haste, shall we?
We shall.
Dusty stands up and he starts to book it.
Jump up and follow him.
Oh, turn into Belchan and fly.
I am back. What has happened?
We're running.
You see, Lloyd doesn't know what's happening. He just got done taking a piss.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's here just buckling up.
He's like that guy in Jurassic Park who's listening to his earphones, like.
So what's happening again?
We're
Running.
So yeah, Dusty had you guys hold position and get duck real low. a Zinogre, which is, you should be able to see its picture. Started coming out of the foliage a couple, or about 100 feet in front of you. As it got around 30 feet, it jerked its head up towards the west and started to run that way as its fur flashed into electricity. And you heard it cry out, and another creature in the distance cried out, and Dusty is now running the opposite direction.
Can I get off the horse or the mount, pick up the goat, and get back on the mount?
Yeah, you don't even have to get off. I'm sure someone would hand you the goat.
Okay. And the mount is still out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to use my mount speed, which I think is like 100? Or is it 60?
Pretty sure it's a draft horse, right?
It says this creature uses statistics for riding horse, except it has the speed of 100 feet and can travel 10 miles in an hour.
Okay.
Or 13 miles an hour. Okay, so I'm probably faster than anybody right now, aren't I?
Correct.
Okay. Well,
especially if you were to dash.
Yeah. Can anyone else get on the horse with me?
One person can get on the horse.
Who is
since
slower?
You already have the goat.
Is Jim or the good doctor slower? Or is Jim on his...
Good doctor should be slower.
Are you on your trusty steed as well, or no?
I'm not, but I'm fast.
Did you bring your trusty steed?
Brady, do I have Seymour?
If you want, you can, yes.
Okay, I'll have Seymour.
Okay. Then I go and I tell the good doctor to get on. Hop on.
Alright, I jump on immediately while looking in the direction of where all that commotion's going on.
Okay.
Mush. Yeah.
So you guys run for about 5 minutes or so before Dusty starts to slow down.
I believe we can reset to our slower pace now. It sounds as if we're far enough away from the battle, as I do not hear it anymore.
What just happened?
That was in Zenogre. Probably fairly simple to take on for a group such as you. You're able to take on a puzzle piece. But I absolutely hate Zenogres. Their electrified fur has been known to cause severe damages to Warforged and other metallic creatures such as myself.
I see. Well, let's try to avoid that then.
Yes, quite. Especially since you don't have a contract for it. It's generally the best option.
So he looks around just to make sure for about 30 seconds or so. He looks towards the sky to get his bearings, and then he begins to head off.
Only a few more hours and then we can make camp.
Okay. I'll cast stuff again if I need to.
Yeah. Which you will. And the rest of this part of the day's journey goes off without any other issues. As the darkness begins to take over,
I don't need sleep. I don't need a tent. So I will keep watch. But it doesn't seem like we are going to be able to find any type of cave nearby.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Just find us a spot that is somewhat out of the way, and I can take care of the rest. Preferably something with enough cover that I can blend in. I can cast a magical dome that we can take shelter in.
In the better part of probably 10 minutes or so, you find a rather good spot for you to be able to cast Tiny Hut.
Okay.
In which I assume you do so.
Yeah. Shush you.
So once you're done casting Tiny Hut, it pops in to existence, and Dusty.
That is quite useful. I cannot see on the inside of it. It looks very unnatural, but I'm sure creatures coming by might only come by for a sniff.
Yeah, it served us well so far.
I can see, yes, this is quite neat. Are you sure that its defenses are capable of withstanding attacks from massive creatures, though, just in case?
Oh, yes, yes. It will be quite alright.
Very well.
It only lasts around, is it 8 hours, I believe? 8 hours?
Yeah.
Just for the night, so we'll have to go out. So if something happens in the morning, we'll have to be careful.
Very well. I will keep that in mind.
So as you all gather inside of the hut, is there any RP that anyone wishes to do before y'all take a long rest?
I want to ask our friend Dusty, does he know how to read by common? Oh, no, he knows how to write in common. Never mind. Retract that. I want to ask him, does he want to read this old history book while we wait in the night?
Sure, why not? Don't really have much else to do. What is the subject?
Oh, just some ancient history from some old history from like the mainland. Some basic stuff, but
Yes, I
something to
will do
read.
so.
And you hand him the book, and he starts to flip through the pages rather rapidly, and after 30 seconds,
That was a rather good read, yes.
Wait,
also
you're-
kidding.
what?
He's not.
No.
He's not. Yeah, Warforged can't actually do that. I don't think so.
Say what?
Speed reading?
You already done?
He looks at one page and downloads the whole book.
Well,
Download complete.
Thank you. This should keep me rather busy for the night, I guess, while you all have to sleep. Am I able to leave the hut for any reason if need be?
I want to say yes, Brady, but I thought we were
Yes.
going back and forth on this.
You
If you start in it, you can
aren't.
go. You can
But,
go in
yeah.
and out.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
knew. I thought it was anybody that, aside from me, can come in and out freely if I deem them acceptable to
No.
come in and out.
Yeah, whoever you deem acceptable can come in and out as they
Okay.
please.
Okay, that's what I thought. But then I thought one time we were like iffy on that, and then ever since that, I was kind of like confused.
You
But
know? So yeah, it's all good.
okay. Yep.
Very good. I may go out and try to find some provisions or perhaps any signs of creatures and where they're nesting for the night. Usually the morning is relatively quiet until 2 hours after dawn, and then that is the busiest part of the woods.
Okay. Well, the spell there is gonna probably end pretty soon, so I'll stay up a little bit longer and like try to learn my own spells, but I'll cast it again so he can speak with us if he needs to
Okay.
for the next hour, and then I'll just tell Frederick to periodically go look for him and try to keep an eye on him. On Dusty if he needs help.
Okay. So I'm assuming you'll probably try to learn the rest of Dimension Door. You all have 3 hours of downtime that you can do stuff before you have to go to sleep with the resting rules. So go ahead and everyone take a long rest. Regain your hit die. Use any if you need to. Does anyone else have any roleplay stuff that they wish to do?
Hey, Lloyd, can I have some good berries? 4 of them before I go to bed.
Yeah, sure. I look to Frederick. He has the rest of them. Yeah.
Num 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 num.
Why'd you need 4 of them?
It just felt like if I had 4 of them, I would just be as good as a person as I could be, you know?
Okay. Sure.
I was really hungry.
It's all good.
Do you need me to make anything for you, Jim?
No, thank you. I'm full. Really full.
Very well. Let me know whenever you are hungry. I'll see what I can do.
So Lloyd, you can do the cantrip exchange if you wish, and you can change what spells you have prepared. The Dimension Door should be on your sheet, so you can learn or prepare that if you wish.
Yeah. What was another spell? Let me look at Agent J's thing while I'm here. I want to queue up another one to start learning if possible.
You'll have to start the next day.
Yeah, just get something like on the queue so we just know which one I'm focusing on next.
Fireball.
I don't have
My favorite.
Oh, that's
sulfur or guano.
That's right. We have to get it from the caves in whatever we're going to.
I don't know if I'll have to ask this question out of character or in character.
Are you on a voice changer right now?
I am not.
Sounds like you're a robot.
He just sounds far away.
Oh, all right. Can I be heard now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I should ask this question like in character or out of character. It's just about materials.
Character.
Yeah, just do it in character.
So, do you think if we go to this volcanic area, what are the chances of finding diamond?
I've
Low,
never
because
seen
that's
it
not
on
that's not how diamonds are formed. Says Jim with a very high knowledge of geology.
Of minerals and such.
I mean,
Is
I
Jim-
know the answers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're proficient in nature. I'll give you that.
well, you see, volcanoes usually produce basalt, which is not giving. It's because the lava comes up and forms, and it solidifies almost instantly, not allowing you to create crystals such as diamonds. It's usually the diamonds are created far deep in the earth and a very rapid intrusion from down below to up above. It does not heat the diamond fast enough for it to reduce into carbon atoms only. So this is probably the last place you'll find diamonds.
That is very oddly specific knowledge. What are you requesting? Or
Yeah,
do
that's
you
all I know
just
about
collect minerals?
I just like diamonds. Got a wife?
Doesn't like
I do.
diamonds.
Yes, I've heard of the
I
procurement
just
of
took this
diamonds
one.
being a husbandry task.
I took a geology class in college when I went.
So where did you study?
Western.
Western.
I don't know. Is Washington a thing in this? Western
Western
Washington.
Boston. Oh. Washington.
Sorry.
Again.
Immersion completely ruined. But you learned something about diamonds, so.
My God.
What is that noise out there? Keep on your guard.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh man, that's funny. Okay.
Hey, look who we have here.
Oh no.
Maybe we need to go and have some fun at the brothel.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Don't do it too much, you'll ruin it.
So Lloyd, once you figure out what spell you want to start working on next, I'll make the thing.
I would try and do spider climb, but that's level 2, and I need bitumen, which is asphalt, and spider.
Okay. So you'll have to wait,
Well, we
or
just
go back to
found
the
a bunch
dark
of spiders.
forest.
Sorry, there's not very many construction sites around here to get your asphalt.
So.
I mean, if you find a tar pit, a rock, and a spider, you're pretty much golden.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
A tar pit, a rock, and a spider walk in a bar. Lloyd kills them all and uses them for material components.
And now you can walk on walls.
Definitely the beginning of a D&D joke.
Okay. So if there's nothing else RP wise, you guys go to sleep and wake up on a brand new day around 7 a.m. And as you wake up, let's see, where is it? There it is. You wake up to the soothing sounds of rain.
Ah, shit.
Of Glavenous drooling.
I thought
over
it was gonna
rainy
be.
bed.
I thought it was gonna be like roaring.
Oh no.
The soothing sounds of.
I look around and I think to Frederick, where's Dusty at? If I don't see Dusty in the tiny hut with us.
And Frederick does not respond to you.
Do I see Dusty anywhere? And
You
then-
do not.
Oh my God.
Do I notice anybody else awake at the moment?
Yeah, everyone's starting to wake up, and you've got about 5 minutes left on Tiny Hut before it fizzles.
I'll throw my hood on.
Can I cast Tiny Hut again?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do so.
Okay. The rain continues to beat down. You look out of the tiny hut, and you don't see anything except for pretty dense fog. Lots of foliage because of the location you're at, so you can't really see anything past the dense brush that you are currently engulfed in. The rain is pretty moderate. It's not a super heavy rain, but it's definitely enough to where it's making this mist a lot harder to see and perceive in the distance. But you call out to Frederick again, and no response.
Am I able to tell if he's been, like,
You know
killed?
he's still. You know he's still around.
Okay.
Well,
He's just too
Dusty's
far
dead.
away.
Okay. Well, Frederick's still around, I tell everybody. I just don't know where Dusty's at, and
I mean, I can go out and have a look around if you want.
Yeah, if you do, just be safe.
Very well. I go ahead and walk out. Walk out with my hood on.
Alrighty. So Thorpe throws on his hood as he walks out of the hut. It only takes probably 10 seconds before your cloak is completely drenched. But luckily, it is keeping you dry on the inside. Your shoes are starting to get soggy already because of the mud as you start to walk through. About how far do you venture off from the tiny hut?
I'll say about 30 feet.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check at disadvantage because of the lack of visibility. So you look around and you're squinting and you don't really see much. You see a bunch of brush. You think you see the pathway that you guys had taken. As you walk towards that, you notice that the footprints that you would have left have been completely filled with mud. You start looking around some more, and as you're going around, you actually get to the point where everything starts to look the same, and you don't even know where the tiny hut is located. But you are within 30 feet of it.
Alright, I'm going to...
And you hear the goat?
Okay.
Go shush.
Cut its tongue out.
I guess I tried to head towards the direction of where I heard that.
Okay. As you're walking, you start to hear large tremors in the ground.
Alright. I'm going to cast Fly.
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you cast Fly on yourself.
And how thick is that mist?
It's lightly obscuring everything around you, so it makes all your perception checks disadvantage, and you can only see. Let's see. You can only see about maybe up to 60 feet in front of you.
Okay. I'm going to... I'm just... From where I am, I'm going to fly straight up in the air. Past the trees.
Alright.
And
So as you fly up past the trees, the fog is not as thick at all above the trees. It's probably maybe just a foot or two above the trees where the fog ends. The rain is keeping it relatively low. And it does... The day also feels a lot warmer. But as you're looking out around, you can see the dark clouds above you, the rain, you can see the thunder in the distance. Or I guess you hear the thunder in the distance and see the lightning.
Alright. I lower myself right back down and see if I could possibly locate the tiny hut again.
Okay. with the help of the goat, you know exactly what direction. But you hear the cry of a creature that's probably within 200 to 300 feet of you.
I try to hurry up.
Rex.
Yeah, I try to hurry up and like fly towards the area of the tiny hut.
Okay.
Upon hearing the loud noise, Brady, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor and I'm gonna look at the goat and hypnotic gaze it, okay?
Alright. So you hypnotic gaze the goat after you hear the cry of whatever creature that is. Dr. Thorpe, after probably a turn, you end up finding where the tiny hut was. You fly in. Just moments before, you see a bunch of electrified fur standing outside of the tiny hut, sniffing around the area, probably about 10 feet away, moving through the brush pretty aggressively, until it does find the tiny hut and it starts to sniff it. And as it does, it looks it over and screams again. And it starts to beat its horns against the tiny hut. It jumps back about 20 feet, runs, charges, smashes its head against the tiny hut. But the tiny hut doesn't budge at all. And then you see it swat its tail against it, and the force that it brings behind that, it almost throws you guys like onto the ground. It definitely shakes the entire area, but obviously the tiny hut stands. The creature, frustrated, climbs on top of it, and you can see that it's trying to crush it with its claws, but it's not making a single scratch. It continues to very aggressively, rigorously scratch at the thing, doing everything it can, using its full body weight to try to move this thing. The tiny hut does not budge. After several attempts at trying to bust this thing open, try to find out what this smell is, it retreats frustrated, running off in the distance, and you can hear it. You can hear the tremors from its steps get fainter and fainter before they stop. The electrified fur gone in the fog.
I really like these huts.
Yeah, right?
I am gonna silently as I can, cast telepathic bond again. For all.
And I'm going to telepathically say thank you so much, Lloyd, for knowing Tiny Hut.
He's scared.
And at this point now I'm still levitating, and I like lower myself slowly to the ground.
Can we give the goat another good berry so that it quiets down again?
Try to feed it the good berry. Oh wait, I don't think you've cast good berry yet.
No, it's incapacitated at the moment.
For attack action, if you're going to cast telepathic bond, that's 10 minutes of it not being incapacitated.
Oh, I thought that it worked as if it was still like 5 feet from me.
It works if you use your action every action.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, can I even cast Goodberry yet? Because I cast it before we left yesterday. Was that morning?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, then I'll cast Goodberry again. And then I'll give the goat a berry.
It seems to be too nervous.
Okay. I pet the goat.
Very understandable.
I prestidigitate some good smelly stuff for the goat.
It sniffs the air, and you can roll animal handling with advantage.
Okay. Can I also do guidance?
No.
Okay. I know I was pushing it.
Did you
Oh,
cast
these pictures.
prestidigitation first?
Yeah. Where's animal handling at? Where are you? Where are you? There you are.
Okay. So the goat sniffs it, and eventually it looks for the good berry and munches on it. And it just gets into the middle of the hut, curls up, and lays down. But its head stays up, and it's looking all manner of exits of the hut.
Yeah. I make sure that the rope is in my hand firmly, and like there's not much slack on. Yeah, there's enough slack for it to like move its head around, but not enough to run away.
Okay.
Well, safe to say I see nothing. Of course, I've heard that.
Yes. Well, I'm sure the Dusty wouldn't just leave us, so let's just wait a little longer till he gets back, I suppose.
Especially since you haven't lost your connection, I'm assuming, to...
Oh yeah, Frederick's still out there somewhere. I would go with Dusty if he needs help.
I mean, he could have died.
I mean, I kind of feel... I don't know. I feel him out there still, so...
No, not Frederick.
Oh, Dusty. Well, I mean, the only reason Frederick is out there is to keep an eye on Dusty. I'm sure he wouldn't just be looking at his dead body.
Unless he gets lost in this mist.
Maybe.
I guess, I don't know. What should we do?
You want me to send Beltran out?
If you're okay with that.
It's
Yeah.
raining quite hard outside. You sure he can fly through that?
I mean, he should be able to, but I honestly don't think we should stay here much longer. Especially if that creature comes back. Or is thinking of coming back.
Yeah, I'd rather get out of here, but I'd rather have an idea where Dusty is first before we head out.
Well,
Is there a note in the hut left by Dusty?
No. But you do see on the outsides of the hut, as you're starting to investigate to see if he did leave anything, and the path that the Zenogre went, you see traces of small footprints, roughly Dusty's sides, heading that way.
two things we could do. We could
Well, I
gamble.
can send Beltran that way.
Yeah, send him out a little bit, and then see if he sees anything.
Okay.
Very well.
How far do you send Beltran out?
I tell him to go 100 feet and let me know if he sees anything.
Okay.
If not, keep going, and then if he sees something, come back so he can let me know telepathically.
All right. Roll a perception for Beltran at disadvantage. So Beltran flies out 100 feet. He lands, takes perch, looks around, tells you, I don't see anything. I don't see Dusty. But what I do see, and Beltran is able to fly up into the air as the Zenogre, you guys can hear in the distance, jumps up and smacks that tree limb, severing it, causing it to fly away. And Beltran's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. or whatever Beltran would say when he's being hunted.
I like that. I think that's what he says. Are you okay, Beltran?
Dusty's so dead.
Beltran's flying high enough to where the Zinogre is keeping an eye on him and occasionally like darting in the direction, but it knows that until it lands he can't catch it, or the Zinogre can't catch it. And Beltran says that that creature, the Zinogre, it's hunting me.
Try and lose it and then come back.
The Beltran flies straight up through the canopy, which the Zinogre knows its limitations. It doesn't let out a roar or anything. Beltran's gone for a couple minutes, and then he comes back into the same spot, and he does not see the Zinogre.
Okay. Well, I told him to come back, so...
Yeah, he comes back.
Okay. So I let the group know Beltran couldn't see anything. Probably due to the rain. As Thorpe said.
I guess
He got so late. He's so gone.
I don't know about that.
only other option that we have for right now is to wait it out.
Yeah,
Maybe a few hours.
Yeah, I believe we should wait. 'Cause this thing's gonna get hungry and leave at one point. So.
Okay.
If he's dead, we don't have to pay him, so that's cool.
Yikes.
I'm more worried about it. I mean, I didn't. Kind
More worried about us making it through
yeah,
this.
that too.
Like,
That too.
without him, we're essentially
Fine.
dead in the water.
No, we're not.
Okay.
I can talk to nature.
So first hour passes. No sign.
I'll do the convey with nature ritual.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called, but
Let me read it again. Primal knowledge? No. It is.
it should be on my spells list. It's the
Oh, it's a
easiest way
spell,
to
that's
find
right.
it. Yeah.
Commune with nature.
Yeah, basically it's a class feature that allows me to use a spell.
Okay, yeah. All right, so you do the ritual, and it allows you to do it just once a day, or do you just cast it as a ritual?
I think
yeah.
I think it's any time as a ritual.
Okay.
I think my
So-
rituals take an extra amount of time though. So like it's a pain in the ass to use, but
Yeah. All right. So you finish, and lightning strikes in the distance, and from that you see these green little wisps of energy. Well, first just a few, then many of them, and then a ton of them, to where they all commune in front of you and form into Nature, the bear. Oh, hello again, everybody. It's been, well, 1, 2, 3 days, right? And he holds up 4 fingers.
Nature, it's so good to see you again. Come into the tent.
Likewise. A funny thing, in this form I don't feel anything, so it doesn't truly matter where I am. I can see you, though. So, Jimothy, what is it you wish to know about this area?
I guess, is there any Warforged in this area? We're trying to find our
Yes.
friend.
Yes.
There is. Or wait, let's see. You can terrain and bodies of
300
water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples. So yeah, a warforged. Yes. He's somewhere around here. Not too far off, but I believe he's been there for a few hours. And the way it feels, he might be there for a few more.
He's probably a little worried about that Zenogre. I bet he got caught out there.
No, it seems to be something else. Something more terrifying.
Is there possibly, oh god, I keep spaced on the name of it. Gladelbeast? Glasselveen?
A Glavenous?
Yeah, that one. Is it out there?
My sources say yes.
Oh,
Creature with a sword for a tail, right?
that would be it.
Oh no.
So
He has
it
our
found
friend
us.
in.
Say that again.
It has our friend pinned.
It feels as if the presence of both of them are relatively close to each other. Otherwise, I cannot give you specifics, for I have not seen it myself.
I understand.
In
And
what
is that
direction are they?
and is that Zenogre still around?
Oh yes, it is currently hunting you, I think. In fact, and Nietzsche points, and you look in the distance, and if you peer through the foliage just right, you see the breath, the hot breath about 30 feet away from you guys as it
30
patiently
feet?
waits.
Oh my god.
Lovely.
Yes, that thing is terrifying. I don't think I like this place.
Nietzsche, in what direction is our friend? Are they north of us, south?
He licks one of his claws, holds it in the air. I don't know. There's no wind current here. Everything is stagnant.
I don't think I kind of look at you and I'm like, I don't think druids really know or care about concrete direction.
Yeah, but if he can point us in the right direction, then at least when we're trying to run from the Zenogre, then we know where to go.
The last thing
And
we
you
want
see
to do,
Nietzsche. He takes both his paws, puts them in front of him. He takes his left 3 fingers on his left paw and his right 3 fingers on his right paw. L. This is the right direction. And he uses his right paw and points it there to his right. That way is the right direction.
Okay. Thank you, Nietzsche.
the last thing we want to do is end up in a Glavenous and God, these things have weird names, and a Thundercat sandwich.
Yes, that sounds dreadful. But I cannot help you.
You already have. Thank you, Nietzsche.
You're quite
Thanks,
welcome.
Nietzsche.
And you all have a wonderful time, as my time has come to an end. Oh, and before I go, as the wisps start to leave, tell Elsbeth hello for me, and that we should have tea sometime soon.
If
We'll let her know.
If we
If we-
survive, I would gladly do so for you.
I'm sure you'll be fine. And the wisp go away.
I'm so glad we flavored that spell to be Nietzsche.
Same. I love being able to do it.
It's so much better than just being like, Brady, I want to know if there's a Fae at... You just go, yes, yes, no.
I agree.
So much better.
Rewards for creativity.
So, inspiration?
The inspiration is nature. He's an inspiration to us all.
Okay, you're not wrong. I'll accept that one.
So,
You should have
Okay.
made him. Yeah, that's great. As you say, you could have him as Deckard Cain. Stay a while and listen.
Who's Deckard Cain?
A character from a game called Diablo.
Oh, okay.
He's like he's just knows everything. He's the old guy that railroads you to missions.
Gotcha.
Now, there is one thing that I can do in this situation.
which
I
is
could. If we can somehow determine the location of Dusty, the exact location, I could perhaps become a distraction so you guys can head towards that direction.
distraction. What do you mean?
Do you think we could scare this thing off? We could fight from inside the hut.
There is a spell that I can cast, but who knows if it will be successful.
What are you planning on doing?
Well, if I'm not casting that spell, I could fly off in the distance and have the creature chase me.
I mean, you could, I guess. Or perhaps
I could cast that spell that I have of it.
I mean, a lot of us can cast duplicates of ourselves. We could have them all run in different directions.
That is also a possibility.
Or we could just attack it from inside the hut.
We are not to engage the subject. It is not a target.
We're not to kill.
So the Glavenous is nearby, correct?
Sometimes, if you're hunting your prey and it is now not just easy food, it might scare it away. Right now we're hiding like a rabbit would. But if we showed some teeth, maybe it would leave us alone.
Just remember, you can't cast spells from inside to affect the outside.
But you have crossbows.
True.
What if you lured the Glavenous to us to fight the Zenogre?
That sounds like the most amazing idea. Unless they don't fight each other and they just fight us.
There is a gamble with that. They could fight each other. Our target could run away after said fight. Or the Zenogre could run away. Quite a wild card, that one.
I do like that idea, though.
Leading them to each other?
Yes.
Yeah. We could have the duplicates run in that direction, and then the Zenogre will chase them, and then we can follow the Zenogre at a distance.
What do you mean by duplicates?
I can create up to 2 or 3 other versions of myself.
Okay. I have one idea, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Okay. I need a willing guinea pig.
Okay.
Okay. So you know these creatures we've been seeing on the island, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I might be able to turn us into one of them.
Which ones?
I don't know. I don't know, but the
This
biggest
seems like
thing
this seems like a sketchy plan to start out with.
it's a gamble, yes.
Especially with that thing so close by.
Well, my idea is, since it can't see through the hut, just to stand on the other side of said hut, and and have the person, the guinea pig, stick their arm into the hut. I cast it on them. If they change, they appear on the outside of the hut. They are a big creature. Maybe it can scare away or fight the Zenogre.
Fight.
Or maybe scare away. I don't know if I can turn one of us into the basil geese or not. I don't know if that's really a beast. I might be able to turn into
I think beasts are just animals. That thing is definitely not a natural animal, you know?
I mean, it's natural enough. I don't know. I have to try. There's like, what was the other creature that almost attacked us earlier? The queen of the jungle. Try turning someone into that, but I'm more curious to see if I can even do it. So
you're gonna gamble with someone else's life in order to do that?
Oh no! Just if the spell fails, the spell fails. Like, and they can easily just. They may not even need to leave the tiny hut. So.
Gamble indeed.
Dr. Thorpe, shoot across. Ah, shit. What do we want to do here?
Like I said, I could gamble with my spell, but there is a chance that it may fail.
What spell?
When we were in the cave. What I did before.
I don't remember. I are dumb barbarian.
I scared it off with a spell.
Oh, yeah.
I could try it again here, but there's a possibility that it may fail.
I remember what the basil geese sounds like, right, Brady?
Yeah.
Can I just minor illusion the sound of that?
Probably.
Okay.
Let me read the spell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, I was thrown out as an idea.
That's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So I propose that idea. What were you thinking about, Dr. Thorpe, again? I'm still confused on what you're trying to do. What is the spell?
I can cast fear on it.
Okay.
See if that will work.
Okay.
But if you have anything else, you try that.
I mean, I can mimic the basil geese sound and see if it runs away. I'm gonna try that.
Go for it.
Okay. Everyone, what do you think? Yeah? Yay, nay?
Yay. Let's try it. It's not gonna hurt.
Unless it attracts another basil geese.
let's we'll just stay in the tent longer. It's fine. We'll stay in the hut.
We're
longer.
just trapped in this little hut surrounded by a basil geese, an ogre, and a Glavenous.
They just don't fight each other. They're just sitting around the hut.
What an awful fight that would be in Monster Hunter. That'd be so fucking annoying. So you minor illusion then?
I have an idea. At the same time, we can try shooting it with the crossbow. And maybe that'll scare it as well.
Does anyone have a crossbow? Because I definitely don't.
I hold up the crossbow, my hand crossbow.
Does.
And I can throw a javelin as well and just try to hit it all at the same time.
Oh, wouldn't that provoke it to attack us?
Yeah, so it doesn't know we're here. Like, it knows something's here, it doesn't know we're here.
Yeah, but imagine you're attacked by something that you don't know is there, and it just shoots the 2 missiles at you and makes his basil geese sound at you. That might spook you.
Whatever you guys want to do, just tell me when to cast this thing.
Just do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Get ready. I'll do it in 10 seconds, okay? So you have until then to decide what you're doing.
I slowly start pointing my hand crossbow in a direction.
Okay. Because of all the foliage, I will give it 3/4 cover.
Okay.
You have a hand crossbow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can shoot 30 feet. Cool. So no
Does that mean we get
disadvantage.
3/4 cover when we get behind bushes?
Yeah. Especially against a ranged attack like a crossbow bolt. If they're in the bush with you, probably not. Like for a melee attack.
Sure, my...
What I'll have you do, Jeffrey,
Yep.
is I will have you roll a... Actually, I'll have the Zenogre roll a charisma check against your spell DC. If
Okay.
it fails, it'll essentially work kind of like an intimidation.
Okay. Do your thing.
It did not. You watch as it hears the basil geese roar, and it immediately looks up at the roof of the canopy, or I guess the roof of the forest, the treetops. It looks up and it starts to back away, and eventually it turns around and runs away as a javelin comes out of the tiny hut and hits a tree.
The fuck?
Not
Nice.
even close, baby.
Well, since it's gone, I think we should get out of here now.
Yeah, let's go run and fight a Glavenous.
Yeah, I'll holster my hand crossbow again and then walk out of the tiny hut.
Okay.
Well, you want me to stay here with the hut? Just
Good
in
idea.
case?
No, we'll need you.
Okay, just double checking. You want the hut here or not? Just me. And the goat, that's what I meant as well. Well, here we go.
So Lloyd walks out of the tiny hut, and those of you without a cloak or anything start to get drenched.
Zap! You get zapped by the thing.
No, it ran away. They ran away in the opposite direction of Dusty's footprints.
Damn, that's a good thing. Alright, let's go save our friend Dusty.
I start Naruto running in the direction of where Dusty's footprints were.
For Frodo.
Okay.
Leroy
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
So after 15 minutes of running, you see a small clearing ahead of you. And in the middle of that small clearing, you see a familiar creature. But it is definitely not got any type of sword for a tail. Instead, it has a very large, round stomach.
Isn't that motherfucker that was eating our shit before? Yes, it is!
Oh.
And as you come to the edge of this clearing, you see the creature. It's currently eating a smaller creature. You can't tell from this distance because of the fog. But you can see Dusty in the tree sort of swinging his war pick towards the Great Jegris every chance that he gets. Whenever it like comes up, you can hear it growl.
We still have telepathic speak, right?
I do. I didn't cast it on him because he wasn't close to us.
Okay, but we do,
Yes.
like what our team does. Okay. I telepathically tell Lloyd, did you want to try and do that thing with the basil geese roar again? See if that does anything with this guy?
Are we concealed, Brady?
Yeah, the creature definitely is more interested in the meal in front of it as well as Dusty being in the tree.
A roar.
Okay.
Meow.
Which, when you do that, I will have it roll ability check, completely biffed it. And the creature stops as it slowly turns around to look around. It looks in the sky, which you notice that this is actually a decently open area in the forest. A flying creature definitely could soar and hunt in these grounds. And very quickly, the creature starts to run deeper into the forest before it's eventually out of your sight.
Okay.
Dusty
Well,
at this point gets as close to the tree as possible, and he's looking up at the sky as well, observing. He does not see you.
Come to the edge of the forest and like try to quietly get his attention if I can.
Is Frederick with them?
Frederick is with him.
I tell Frederick to peck him, and then like I warg into him, and I like feather point in the direction everybody else is at. Like,
The fact that this map is so big scares the shit out of me.
Feather point.
Yeah, like I hold up, like I peck him in the head.
Oh shit, that is big, isn't it?
Oh, actually, I forgot to do something on this map.
I think it's because it's 4 different things.
Yeah, it's just a copy, over and over again.
I mean, 4 of the same thing, yeah.
You guys can only see like 60 feet, right?
It's grayed out, but I can still see it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's essentially the
I'm kind of
fog.
interested to see if I move out of this. Yeah, his token disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's neat.
Okay, cool. That was the intended effect. So Frederick pecks Dusty on the head and then points, and then Dusty looks in your direction, and you see him wave his arms frantically. You start to hear tremors.
Yeah, we already know.
Is there a large tree nearby, Brady?
Yeah, you're right next to one.
I want to get up in this goddamn tree.
I want to get in the high.
Okay.
And
So I'm gonna turn into Beltran and then get into the tree.
Bye, Jim.
How's Dr. Thorpe doing?
Is he gonna become
So
this guy?
I'm probably gonna back up until I see it, right?
Yeah, so as it's coming out of the forest there, were you actually up that far?
Oh, well, so what I was gonna do is move out more towards the middle of the field.
Okay.
So I did it like I didn't expect it to be on the edge. I'm thinking that if I saw it immediately, I don't think I would have just kept.
Yeah, no,
running
yeah.
Towards it,
So
you know.
yeah, you definitely get to a point where you see it coming out of the fog,
right here.
and you start running away, and it's looking in your direction.
Oh, I wasn't running away, but I wasn't.
Okay. And as it comes in, it looks around, it sniffs the area while keeping an eye towards Jim. It looks towards the tracks where the Jegris was. It sees Dusty in the tree. It looks at Jim, looks past him. It sees Lloyd in the tree. It sees a crow in a tree. Dr.
Does it
Thorpe,
have
are you...
one horn?
Huh?
I'm behind the tree.
Oh, sorry, Brady. I shouldn't have interrupted you. I'm sorry. Keep
No, you're good. You're good. And you do notice that this creature does have one horn. It whips its tail around its mouth, and you can see its mouth light up in flame as the tail. You can hear almost like a knife being sharpened on a whetstone, except for a lot rougher, a lot louder, and it ignites its tail. And then it looks towards you, Jim, and lets out a bellowing. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
We'll end it at me getting really angry and roaring back at it. Ah! As then I tilt my bowler hat down a little bit.
Pleasure to meet you.
You never take me alive, see?
You can try, but you will fail. Maybe. Who knows, actually.
Well, look at what this party's getting themselves into. Looks like they're in deep trouble next time. I hope they make it through. Or else, death is bound to happen. But we'll see what happens next time. Until next time, good fight and good night.
Oh boy.
God, why is that music just so perfect?
But it is.
Alright.
I do like that.
Should be fun to die next session.
Really fun.
If Jim dies, then he doesn't have to worry about his family anymore, so...
Exactly.
Yeah,
You'll
you're not
be
wrong.
resting in peace.
Alright, thanks Brady, that was fun. Talk to you
Yes.
guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Y'all have a good one.
night, guys.
Is there anything you have? No, yeah, next week should be perfectly good. So, yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
Glavenous. How exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Brady, did you expect us to pick that or no?
Kinda, yeah, actually. I was like, they're probably gonna go big or go home.
Oh boy.
Cause why not fight a creature with a fucking sword tail?
Yeah, so I watched a video on like what the because I never played the new Monster Hunter. I imagine this is a new creature in the new Monster Hunter, right?
It's not new in theory. It's new in Monster Hunter World because they didn't add it until what is it called? Until Iceborne came out.
Isn't it like a desert creature?
It is found
Like a
actually in
forest?
quite a yeah. The only place it's not really found is the Rotten Vale, and I don't think you can find it in the Highlands, the Coral
Okay.
Highlands.
Yeah,
But
'cause I
it
was
does
looking-
appear in the forest. It does appear in the desert. The desert's where you first fight it, and it does
Okay,
appear in the
that's probably
Elder's
why then.
Recess.
Yeah, because I looked up a video of the Glavenous and I'm like, oh,
Pretty brutal, huh?
yeah.
It's such a fun fight though on the game, so I'm very eager to see how well it plays in D&D. Especially because it's my favorite monster from Monster Hunter.
So I was looking at what's the Shara Ishvalda? Is that the final boss in the game?
Yes.
Is it actually strong or is it just kind of?
No, it's actually kind of a bitch. He's an asshole. So the first form, he's got two forms. He's got a form where he's like covered in rock, and then once you break enough of the rock pieces, he becomes unarmored, and he's got like these telekinetic. No, it's like wind pressure energy, but it's literally covers like half the map, and yeah, it's pretty awful. If he hits you with like the main blast, he keeps that animation for like 5 seconds. So if you get hit with it initially, you drop. The moment you stand up, you get hit with it again, and normally that's enough damage to kill you.
I'm looking at the form when it's armored versus not armored makes no sense at all. But okay.
Yeah, I forget what the exact reasoning for it. I don't know if they explained it in the game or if it was in like some research notes or something, but it does that because its body is very, 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 very frail. So like actually killing him, it was actually pretty. It doesn't take too long as you're not constantly getting hit.
Okay. But just getting past the first stage is the hard part or something?
No, the first stage is the easy part. Honestly, fighting the Ruiner Nergigante is harder than that boss fight.
Okay.
Getting out. Night, guys.
Au revoir.
All right.
Have a good week.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Yep. See you, dude. I'm gonna end my stream real quick, and then if you wanna learn more, I'll be right.
Okay.
All right. So thank you everyone for coming out. The Glavenous, it has revealed itself. Next week should be pretty fun. Obviously, the session's probably gonna mostly be fighting. Yeah, it probably will be all fighting. Because while they're fighting the Glavenous, at some point the Rathian and the Rathalos are going to pop in. I actually need to make sure that that's not going to be too hard of a fight. We'll do that real quick. But yeah, they're going to fight. They're going to start with the Glavenous, which should be, you know, pretty standard. I think it's a hard encounter. And then I think when it gets to probably after like the first 3 rounds, I'll throw these 2 in. It's not too far above the thing, but obviously this fight against the king and the queen, they're definitely going to want to run away from that, which is the goal. The goal isn't for them to waste a lot of their resources actually fighting them. The goal is to hopefully I've instilled the fear in them that fighting both of those at the same time is a bad idea. They might still go for it, but then that means that they're going to waste time with the Glavenous, and it could recharge and possibly come hunting them. Who knows? But anyway, we'll do that next week, so hopefully we see you there. Until then, peace!